He ain't talking to Dr. Michelle in that moment. He talking to a lot of Nitra supporters. That was in Nitra's room in her live. That's her supporters. He's saying, telling them, shut up. I ain't been here but 20 minutes. So what's your excuse? Let's take Dr. Michelle and Kiara out of it. You let this white man talk to a bunch of black women like that.
You a piece of shit. And then I heard you. We all heard you when you called that woman's job.
She's saying it. She said
you did say it. You did say it. So right now, like, you a piece of shit for calling this woman's job. Like, man, this is TikTok. This is fucking TikTok.
I would never call nobody's job.
You need to call yours, bitch. You need to call your own job. Get your ass back on that truck and let me live.
I've only been here for like 20 minutes.
Shut
your cornball ass up. Shut up and let me talk. I've only been here 20 minutes and I've heard everything that's going on in the club. You a piece of shit. You a piece of shit. And then I heard you. We all heard you when you called that woman's job.
She's saying it. She said
you did say it. You did say it. So right now, like, you a piece of shit for calling this woman's job. Like, man, this is TikTok.
Now, mind you, he was not talking to Dr. Michelle. Whoever called somebody's job, he was talking to them. So the whole, we let a white woman do the thing, let's push that on out the door. We ain't even trying to get, we ain't gonna say even going justice for Dr. Michelle right now. Justice for them women in that room who was called, told that a white man told you a piece of shit. Bitch, listen. Shut up. Shut up, cornball. You a piece of shit. That's what the white man told them.
What took me, I ain't even gonna hold you. What took me out was hearing her say, use your white privilege. That's some anti-ass black shit right there to say.
Yeah. So now what? Y'all swear y'all done got ahead. Y'all swear y'all are progressive. But as long as we are still cool, let me tell you, I got friends that are straight up rednecks. They would never motherfucking try it.
And can I say something real quick to whoever this lady is in the comments? Y'all keep talking about you gonna call my job. I never called anybody's job, but just know, state agencies, we do record our phone calls, and the phone calls are traceable. Don't play with me.
Get your ass in trouble here.
And I'm about pushing that pen. So don't play with me. I didn't start this. Nitra started it, and I responded accordingly. Just leave me the hell alone.
I can't believe it. So y'all can do what y'all want to do. If y'all don't give a fuck, if y'all don't feel like our ancestors who had to be taught like that and they couldn't do a fucking thing about it. And this is the same man that he uses the N-word all the time. They just challenged her on Diamond's panel about letting him use the N-word. And what Nitra said is, if you can stop a person from doing something, I'll eat your whole ass raw. And I told her she better get a fork and a goddamn knife. Because I promise you I can stop. I have straight up right there. I call him right now and I'll ask, will you say the N-word in front of me? They'll tell you, hell no. Nah. Give a damn what they do in their private life, but not in my motherfucking face. Never in my face.
All right. So the overall facts, so we can make a decision. I think a few people are ready to go ahead and do it. Dr. Michelle didn't do anything wrong. She went on her platform to talk about, an issue that happened and someone else took offense to it. She had nothing else to do with any of this drama. So she didn't call anybody's job. She's just been trying to protect herself from everything that's been going on. So let's just leave it at that. And we can go ahead and, make our decision about what's going on. Y'all ready?
Go ahead.
All right. So Kiana and Dr. Michelle, I am going to have y'all wait in the comment section because I do need to allow for them to cast their vote. All right. So I have 2 spaces available.
Hey, George, I have a question. Maybe I missed it. Why did she state she called the mayor? Was it due to her being like Nitra going off on her, or because she knew that Nitra was a volunteer, and she wanted to report her, or just bring up concerns? Like, I'm still just trying to find out why she called the mayor.
That's what I was about to ask. Why did she call her
She was
mayor?
I
bringing
also
up
had one more
concerns, but
question
she said she
too.
was getting the phone calls from the random numbers and stuff like that. So she had already gotten law enforcement involved, or I guess the cops involved, and then she talked to the mayor.
Okay.
I have a question if anybody knows the answer. When Dr. Michelle held the live about the shaken baby syndrome, did she already know about the nephew situation? And also, did when you want to go on someone live and talk about something, you explain it to that person like, hey, this is what I'm coming to talk about. So did she let her know this is what I'm going to talk about? And did she already know about the nephew? Or did she just go talk about it and not know about the nephew?
I don't think she knew about the nephew. I think she was referring to something else, because I think she talked about a woman. And when she talked about the woman, I think people went and did research on Nitra's friend Mario. And then they found out that he had been guilty of causing that same thing to happen. And that's when she took offense to it. Nitra.
Okay, so Miss Nitra allowed her to get on the live to talk about something without knowing the subject, correct? That's what I'm getting?
I think she was on her own platform.
Dr. Michelle had
She
her
was on
own
her
live.
own live.
Yeah.
She did the
I think it was
shaken baby
coincidence.
syndrome on her own live.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay. I thought she was brought up as a guest. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
So the
And I
whole
think it was coincidence that it happened to be around the
The
same
comments are
time that the
saying she
net
didn't do
or
a
that the mod thing
live.
came out.
The comments are saying she didn't do a live.
Dr. Michelle did a live about shaken baby syndrome
She did a
On her own
Video, a
panel
video.
or on Nitra's
said it was a
panel?
video.
on her own live.
She said it was a video.
Okay. Oh, it's a video.
Yeah.
her own
Okay.
page.
So why would she be offended? It's just a
Because her
topic.
friend did the same thing. The guy Mario.
That's what I'm saying. I think it was a coincidence that her life happened around the same time that Miss Nitra's mod got called out about this stuff. Miss Nitra thought it was related and started retaliating against Dr. Michelle. Dr. Michelle got word that she was being looked up by Miss Nitra and called the mayor. And then that's what started Miss Nitra to go after Dr. Michelle with her nephew. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Someone saying they're flagging the live. Are they supposed to put F1 in the comments?
No, it's not.
Someone said in the comments, I don't know what's going on. No, she wasn't clear on where the video or the live was held. So I just wanted to know, why was it so personal if she did a video on her own? Why did she feel like, okay, this girl's talking about my nephew? That's all I was asking.
Wasn't talking about her nephew. She was talking about.
I'm just replying to the comments. They said that I don't know what's going on. I was clearing it up. That why is she so why she's upset?
She's taking that
about
defense
us.
for her friend Mario.
Yeah, that's what I get now.
All right, so I guess we're ready. If y'all are ready to vote.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so bottom line, the question that is being posed: was Nitra wrong for directing her white tea nephew-in-law to disrespect Dr. Michelle? Was Nitra wrong? I'm gonna start with you, honey.
Yes, she was wrong.
Izza? Blaze? Will? Professor?
Dr. Michelle was wrong for calling the mayor, but Nitra was wrong for allowing this man to disrespect a black woman, period.
She's absolutely wrong
Ms.
in
Love?
that. Yes, she's wrong with the whole thing with her nephew. That was just out of line.
August?
Yeah, she was wrong.
Mai?
Yeah, she was wrong.
Okay, I want to make sure the citizens of the comment section can hear me. Can y'all hear me speaking? I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay. All right. So now I am going to pose the question because 8 out of 8 jurors concluded that Nitra was wrong for directing a white tea man to disrespect Dr. Michelle. All right. Last but not least, the question is now being posed to the citizens of this court, aka the comment section. If you believe that Nitra was wrong, smiley face yes, sad face no. If you believe that Nitra was wrong, smiley face yes, sad face no. Where did this is comment section?
He wanted us to re-answer because they didn't hear all of us.
Well, mine was yes, she was flat out wrong, and that's very anti-black of you to be doing on this app.
Is that they didn't hear you either.
I voted she was 100% wrong.
And can we just get a power tap because it looks like the screen is buffering on my end? We have less than 10 seconds left to vote. "190 people concluded that Nitra was wrong for telling her white tea nephew to disrespect Dr. Michelle, a black woman." Okay. Now that we have gotten that case concluded, we are going to move on to the next case, which will be the final case for today because the other cases did drag out a little longer than intended, okay? So I am going to have to wrap this last case up. All right, and this last case is pertaining to Rozay versus Nosy. Okay? I just want to be clear on that. Come up and be 2 boxes open if you would like to be a juror for the case. Feel free to request up. I'm going tonight. Yeah, I just got to tap the screen up real good. I do believe that I am being, the page is being reported, so. Yep. Okay. All right, so one moment. Okay, can y'all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Are we good to go? All right. So yeah, I have 3 spaces available for those that want to be a juror for this last case. This case is Rozay versus Nosy. During this week, Rozay and Nosy had some type of interaction. Allegedly, Rozay, not even Rozay, let me be clear. Rozay had some things to say to Nosy because Nosy wanted Rozay to provide some type of proof that that therapist has been abusive. So allegedly, Rozay said that therapist is abusive, and Nosy challenged Rozay to prove that. Well, when that happened, Rozay had some words for Nosy. All right, so I have 3 spaces available, and again, go ahead and request up if you would like to come up and be a juror. All right, and then let's see. First professional, you're here to be a juror?
Hey, Bella.
Yes, are you
Hey,
here
Bella. Can you hear me?
to be a juror? I just want to make sure it wasn't a mistake.
No, it's not a mistake. Quick question.
Can you
So
hear
with
me
the
talking?
there's a delay. Can you hear me? Hello? I don't hear anybody talking. Bella, if you can hear me, my question was, would the question about Dr. Michelle calling the mayor be on the
Yes.
poll too? I know that I'm asking Bella. Bella, can we do a poll
You
whether
can't hear
Dr.
me?
Michelle? I can hear you now, but there's a delay. I don't hear anything now.
Y'all delay in the comment section?
That's why I said I don't hear her until, it's quiet right now.
So you might have to drop and come back so you can hear me.
Okay, but since you guys can hear me, so there's no poll for Dr. Michelle calling the mayor?
That was up to Bella.
That's why I'm asking Bella. You guys keep answering. I'm asking Bella.
You know what, Bella?
The question was it wrong for? No, that wasn't about that. The case that was being presented was about a white teen man being directed to disrespect a black woman. What do the mayor have to do, if anything? Why do that matter?
Right.
No, but the case was about Dr. Michelle as well.
Saying is we moved on from that already.
It wasn't just. Blaze,
Okay,
be quiet.
so I'm not sure. So hold on, y'all. I'm gonna respond to it. So I don't know if you missed how the case was presented, but the case was presented as though the question was it wrong for Nitra to have her white teen nephew disrespect Dr. Michelle, and then they got into the details. Then they played the audio, but we're not going to censor the mayor. Respectfully, I feel like that is very irrelevant.
I'm not censoring the mayor, but her calling the mayor happened before the white nephew cursed her out. So they're both relevant.
So why would that? So we're talking about right and wrong.
Bella, that's
why would? So are you saying that made it okay for the white teen man to call her a bitch?
No,
that's
I am
what
not.
That's what
No,
the court.
I am not.
But that's what the case was about.
Okay, Bella, I'm asking you, and this is your court case or whatever. What I'm asking you is, So there was no wrong in Dr. Michelle taking something off the app and calling the
That wasn't the
mayor
focal point of the
about
court
something that
case.
happened on the app. Okay,
That was
you
not
don't
the
want to deal
focal
with it.
point of
That's
the court
fine.
case.
I'm sure it wasn't. Okay, that's fine, Bella. Bella, you can drop me.
What?
Okay.
No
What the
shade.
fuck? Like,
No shade. Like that's
she
what.
came up here to start some shit. She didn't really want to ask that goddamn question. Fuck her.
She was up here. She was sitting here. Like seriously, stop sending these people in here.
At the
All
end of the
right.
day, even if the mayor was called, it could have been a different way to handle it instead of having your nephew get online and do something like that. That's all.
For real, like that's worse than somebody calling the mayor or attempting to call in the mayor. Like, come on now, you worried about the wrong thing. Even if the Bella said that wasn't a focal point, you should have just dropped.
Again, she was sent in here. Like it's clear. That was clear to me, especially who her mutuals are.
She was definitely here to antagonize you and to provoke you. For real, somebody sent her.
Yeah, I'm not going to assume anyone sent her. That might have just been the question that she wanted to ask. I answered it. The case was not about the mayor. The case was not about John F. Kennedy. The case was about the white T man disrespecting a black woman. Was it okay for it to happen? That's all it was.
Well, she can come back up and we can keep talking. Like, fuck out of here. Like somebody's supposed to be scared. Is that a threat?
Well, no, she literally said that that's all she had to
Oh,
add.
no. She's in the comments talking shit, Bella. Like, she's in the comments talking shit.
She has an opinion like everyone else. So we're not going to focus on, we're not going to focus on anyone's opinion in the comment section. They have a right to their opinion.
Everyone voted, but I did put a little caveat and say that they were both wrong. That was just my little caveat personally, but we didn't take an official vote to say that Dr. Michelle was wrong for calling the mayor. That was my personal opinion when I said that. I thought they were both wrong. But you don't disrespect a black woman, period. So that's why they're both wrong.
Yeah, she was being neutral. Which is fine.
Okay, so let me see. All right, let me see. Dr. Michelle, I see you're here. Dr. Michelle, were you coming back up to be a juror?
Oh, no, ma'am. I don't know why. No. I'm
Okay,
done.
I just was making sure it was showing that you was under request. Okay. All right, I have one more space available. I have one more space available if anyone wants to request up. Miss Ray, yeah, I didn't see you in the request, Miss Ray.
Oh, Miss Ray want to come out? She could come up if she wants to. I'll drop.
Okay.
All right, let me drop.
Miss Ray, cancel out and then come right back in. And while we are waiting, go ahead and tap that screen up, y'all. Thank y'all for the taps. We have over 500,000 taps in here. If we can get to 1 million likes today, that will be amazing. All taps is appreciated. If you're not already following the Bella Leone show, we are here every Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for Accountability Court, where we discuss things that happen throughout the streets of TikTok. All right, Miss Ray, let me see if I see you in there now. Okay, there we go. Okay, Miss Ray, you connected?
Yeah, I'm connected. You can hear me?
Yeah. All right, we good.
Okay, great.
All right, so again, this is Rozay versus Nosy. Nosy called out Rozay, and she wanted her to produce receipts that therapist has been abusive in any way. Allegedly, Rozay was not able to produce those receipts. Therefore, Rozay had a response, and I'm getting ready to play that response.
It's very difficult to not see biases in the statements that you make, Nosy, when you're not saying, in your opinion. In my opinion, you're bored. In my opinion, the algorithm is not taking too much to those videos that you say you make so much money off of, and it is quicker money for you to go live. In my opinion. In my opinion, you make more money on live streaming than you ever thought that you actually would. And you like that live stream money. In my opinion, Nosy. And based off of empirical evidence, I've noticed that you find and take a liking to the messy side of TikTok that you have never recapped until recently. In my opinion, I have noticed that you, for some strange reason, choose one side over the other. In my opinion, I've noticed that you are old enough to be my mother's age. You're old enough to be my mother. And so you pick and choose because you have a little friend by the name of Chinned Dime, aka Nickelback. So it's very interesting that you sat yourself on your live stream, and for 2 hours you spun a narrative. Because you were bored. Because you have insomnia. Maybe. Allegedly. Word on the curb. So it's like, when you're going to speak on someone, why is it that you're not finding... Okay, so here's the thing, right? Here's the thing with, if you're going to be a good recapper, like you claim that you want to be, right? Why is it that you don't give other information so that people can see both sides? You see what I mean? Has there ever been a time where y'all were in Nosy's live where you saw her give information that would prove that therapist was in fact messing with me to some capacity? Have y'all ever heard her play those videos of therapists trying to little girl me? Have you? And when she did she say that this person is just allowed to feel it? Have you ever seen that would then show that Rozay is being antagonized and this is now her response? Or is it Rozay's the antagonist? She's doing all of these things. She won't leave this woman alone. Dealing with therapists was a boost in life. How many times have you heard her make statements like this? Dealing with therapists was her boost in life, and she tried to bully therapists. She tried to control therapists. She tried to make therapists out to be something that she's not. You ain't never spent time with therapists. You ain't never been on the phone with therapists. You ain't never been in a space with therapists. You ain't never seen therapists act how she really acts outside of social media. So when you put your biased opinion on something, and then you say that this is just something to allow the people to think for themselves, now we have a problem. Because then when you speak it back to other people, you're not giving it in context of how it happened. And we saw it in 4K in Tea Times Live. Who was in Tea Times Live? Thank y'all for the taps. Everybody tap the screen for me, please, and thank you. Power tap the screen real quick. Let's get to 100K. She's in here on a burner account. I know. So since this is what Nosy wanted all along, she's been poking, looking for a reason to have a problem with me. And it's not just you giving your perspective on things. When you speak to how a person is going through whatever she's going through, and you give leading questions, then you give your opinion on how you feel about someone and then get more leading questions. Oh, baby, now we have a problem. Jinty, she did me like that. And then for some strange reason, Nosy, did y'all hear her raise her voice with me on Tea Times Live like she was my mama? Y'all ain't here? So y'all tell me I ain't hear that either? Y'all was in and out? You ain't gonna raise her voice for me, attempting to cuss me out? Attempting. Where y'all think that energy came from? Because we never had no problems. Y'all help me understand. Where y'all think that came from? Y'all can hop up in the queue when y'all ready. Where me and Nosy ever had a problem? When did me and her ever have an issue for her to think that she could raise her voice and attempt to cuss me out? Attempt, heavy on try. Baby, your code switching makes me uncomfy. When you try to code switch, it makes me uncomfy. Even when you say nigga, I be like, ooh.
Hello.
Hello.
Nosy is messy. She always being messy. When shit get real, she start to cry. But she always dipping and dabbling in people's business. Always trying to be in the middle of something. So now she's in the middle of something. So when shit get real, she gonna be crying again.
Oh, well, she made statements last night saying things like, Rozay needs to tread lightly. What am I treading? I can't tread lightly. I have a big back. That's very difficult for me to tread lightly. So now I'm here in the front, heavy stepping with your face on my backdrop, like you put your face on mine, Nosy. Remember when you put my face on your backdrop and your numbers went up? Remember when you did that? When you're trying to get your live stream numbers up?
That's the only way she can get her numbers up anytime. She always got to talk about somebody.
Which is no problem.
It's never about her. But it's never about her. But you want to talk about everybody else's business, but when it comes to your business, you're not sharing that.
Well, she claims that she's a private woman. I appreciate you, BK, for coming up.
Yeah, but why would you be a private woman, but then you want to be in everybody else's business? And then putting them down for their finances? Well, like, what's in your bank account?
Well, she says she's $1 million baby, or at least close. She's close.
That's cat.
She's at least in the 100,000 tier, for sure.
She called herself having a TV show a while back. That was cat. That was just her way of going on someone's panel and trying to basically get known, get some clout. Never made a TV show. She's not a producer. She's just a nosy lady that's in everybody's business. Throwing stones, hiding her hand.
Okay, well, thank you, Big K. I appreciate you for coming up.
You're welcome.
Thank y'all for the taps. As a part of content creating, there's nothing wrong with, talking about other people's business. However, we can't get upset when someone responds to how you speak on their business. Like, it's one thing to talk on the business and give the facts of the business being, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to talk about it, at least make sure that it is valid information before you relay it back to the masses. You can speak on whatever you want to speak on. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. But once you start to spin narratives, that is where people will then find to have the problem. And so now it begs to question, is the way that you relay the information in a means to paint a certain picture for the audience? Do y'all think that, it's very colorful when she gives you the information? Because it seems colorful. It seems really colorful. Oh, I'm a professional yapper. For those asking in the comments, I'm a professional yip yapper, as Nosy would call it, a professional yip yapper. Right. So here's the thing. She spoke to a situation that happened in Tea Times Live and alleged that I was maybe attempting to ruin someone's career. Was anybody present to hear those statements, whether it was last night or today? Did anybody hear that information? That I was that therapist may need to protect her license to some capacity because people are trying to come for her job. Did y'all hear that? Did anybody hear that? Yeah, they said she said it last night. No, this is not my only job. The main source of income that I have is dwelling in my mother's room. Guest room. I dwell in my mother's guest room most of the days. And yeah, I do that. Okay, so what I want to do is I would like to just play the clip, in full context of what transpired in Tea Times Live. Right, and I become friends with them. And because I'm a teacher, right? And they got kids. It don't mean I gotta teach their kids. Right? Just because she's just on the app. Right? So that it's not like her client that she built a relationship with her client. No, I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. What I'm talking about is that for therapists, it's a bit different. We can be held liable for the things that we do outside of therapy. That's what we're paying policy. And it happens all the time. Yes. If you be held liable for things you do outside of the therapy, it's a relationship. Absolutely can. And we had the social media ethics on Sunday today, but absolutely I can tell you. Coach that the lady said, we don't know nothing about that shit. Rozay don't know that shit. Rozay don't know, ain't no trying to take nobody's, right? Okay. When we're having these kind of conversations, one thing that Nosy likes to do is that if she hears a piece of something, she does not let it play all the way through, or at least let the person finish the statement. What she will do is she will stop it midway, spin her little narrative, and then hit play. By that point, you don't even know what the hell the person was actually saying because she didn't say whatever she needed to say and how she felt about the situation, and then hit play. That's crazy. When you hear instead of what is transpiring, you then spin a narrative because you stop it before it can actually play through because you think that you need to be heard. Your opinion on it need to be heard. And you don't even have the full context because you ain't listened to it before you hit the live button. You listening to it right with them. So you talking instead of listening to what's being said before you give your opinion on anything. You have to do a professional side of therapy session. Does that make sense? Therapy. It happens all the time. Am I answering your question, Omar? Me explain. I don't this lady licensing me alone because for some reason Nosy felt the need to make it seem as though I'm trying to fuck up somebody's money, fuck up somebody's livelihood, and everything in between. And that has never been a sentiment of mine. Hold on. I don't understand why people just feel the need. I hope nobody was saying that. Hold on.
Trust that. Or explain you lost. I will in a second. What's up, psychologist? Make sure I see that. Y'all hear me say that. I just wish that she would just leave me the fuck alone. It's really that simple. Just leave me alone. Keep your license and your practice. Okay. I don't know. Okay. Did y'all hear what I had said? Did you hear what I said? Did you hear me say, leave me alone? I'm gonna try and mess with this. You say, I'm gonna try to ruin your livelihood. You hear me say that? Did you hear me say that? Angelia, you're still sitting your ass in here. So clearly, fiction. Okay, so here's the thing, right? For those of y'all who are in the room, who are in the space, what happened is Nosy decided she wanted to, I guess, record the conversation that Tea Time and I were having with other people in the panel. And Tea Time expressed that she saw therapists sitting in her live stream. And for some strange reason, Nosy has no video of therapists, but she be in her live talking shit. For some reason, she never has no video of therapists in her live attempting to bash me. Like, have y'all ever heard her play no clips of therapists coming at me for no reason? And say, well, I was going through these TikTok streets and I saw therapists for no reason talking about Rozay doing it. Rozay. Do y'all think it's a little suspicious that help me understand. Why me in that room? How, Sway? If I ain't sitting around none of our mutuals, and I'm sitting at somebody else's house named Dominique, how you find me in the room? How you just so happen to fly in that room, sitting in the comments? What that look like to you? So I can understand the statements that I may have made, right? I can understand the fact that I said things that hurt little therapist feelings back in March. But I just want to tie something in real quick. Do y'all remember this earlier when Dime said that people shouldn't hold on to timestamps? Do y'all remember that? She said that video, it happened in March. Like, people could change their mind about people. You know, I had an idea at first, but, you know, people is trying to do that to just be messy because they don't want, you know, they don't want me and you to be friends or whatever. And we don't have to be friends. You know, we can be mutuals or cordial, but they just bringing it up because they want me and you to get into it. So don't let them do that to us, like do that to us, basically. Did y'all hear Dom say those things? Basically, just a gist. I'm not quoting her. Did y'all hear it? Did y'all hear it? Because this woman, and we're gonna tie things in, right? This woman, Dime Piece, she sat her ass in Tea Times Live and felt the need to say that timestamps of things do not matter. Now, her and Nosy, when me and therapists were at odds and having a problem actively, they pulled up a clip of me back in March
when therapists went live on me the first time, her opinion. If therapist went live on me the first time, after me and her had a conversation, she went live on me like she liked to do. These two individuals came together and said, well, Rozay was wrong as hell. Rozay was wrong as hell for talking about therapists back in March when they were at odds, when they was beefing with each other. Do y'all remember that? Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember when Don and Nosy was like, well, I mean, the video is the video, Rozay. Y'all remember that? The video is the video. I don't care if it happened in March. I don't care if it happened 10 years ago. But you said these things in March. Even if you did change your mind, you're not allowed to change your mind, Rozay, because you should have never said those things. Y'all remember that? But her whole tone was changed just today in Tea Times Live, saying, well, I mean, that video happened in March. Diamond, I do apologize. It happened in March. It was a lot going on. A lot of people, they removed themselves. I didn't need it. I said those. I should have said those things. Oh. So I'm trying to understand what was the difference in me and therapist beefing. And I told her that she was ugly, obsessive. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get to know her. She seemed like she trying to be cool. She's trying to be my friend. All right, that's cool. We can get to know each other. And I tell her, look, I said all these things. Mind you, therapist knew I said those things because she went live on me before I even said what I said on the panel that was recorded and brought out for means to make me and therapist fall out. And Don rode that wagon until the wheels fell off. Don, you rode that wagon until the wheels fell off. And then when you realize that therapist is a little shaky, and I ain't even talking about her eyes, I want to take my hands off it. I'm going to take my hands off it now. I ain't going to talk about it no more. Oh, they both wrong. Oh, now we both wrong. Now we're both wrong. When there's an opportunity for you to say, okay, therapist is doing too much to Rozay. No, I'm just going to take my hands off it. I'm going to just take my hands off it, though. So I'm just trying to understand, how is it that you and Nosy got together? Was like, Rozay ain't shit. Rozay is a bully. Rozay is this. Rozay is that. Are y'all thinking that y'all can bully me? I don't give a good goddamn how it ends. I'm still gonna hit the live button. Clock it. I used to care. But the more that you talk and spread narratives, Nosy and Dime, the more we're gonna have a problem. And I get to talk and talk and talk, because that's the beauty of social media. So you're gonna record this and you're gonna try to dissect this too, right? Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. And I'm still gonna stand right here in my live streams and I'm still gonna talk. Cause who gonna check me? I don't watch your lives, Nosy.
Wait, hold on now. We eating Nosy up because I've been waiting on somebody to call her out, bro. It's just so cringy. So cringe, but I want to know what the beef is. So I want to know what.
So Nosy decides to sit in her spaces and spin biased narratives about me and about my situations. And then today she felt the need to come at me and attempt to cut me out, yell at me, thinking that was going to shut the fuck up.
I said Trina. I remember when she was she went on Trina's live. I don't know if y'all know Trina or remember that little situation where Trina had going on. This girl literally, clear as day, sent Trina like $5 to $10. Screen recorded her. No, she didn't. She didn't screen record it. She sent her like $5 to $10. Went on her live and literally was bashing the girl. And I was so confused because I'm like, excuse me, oh my God, I was just on Trina's live and you just sent her some money and was like, you were encouraging her and you're literally on. So I've been waiting on somebody to call Nosy out. Like, literally, she's a 40-year-old woman. I think because her face is so, she does look so young, people forget that this is a grown woman, right? interact, like it's like you're getting clout off of younger people's situation. Now, granted, I don't know how old you are, but
I'm 26.
okay, so my point still stands. It's cringy. It's so cringy, and she like acts like she's at this, like, you could tell. I don't know if Nosy had friends in real life, but the way she, like, you could just tell. Like, I know when TikTok came out, she was just like mad hype, like, finally my voice will be heard. Like, she's so cringy, and she reminds me of Camilla Harris' daughter. So I'm glad somebody calling it out, because Shorty's mad fake for the clout. No cap.
I appreciate you coming up, Vicky. Thank you for giving your input. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Catch you in the comments. Catch you in the comments. So we need imperial evidence, right? Imperial evidence of me being antagonized to some capacity, correct? Imperial evidence of a person actively choosing to point me out in crowds, choosing to bother me, choosing to poke at and make fun of to some capacity, right? That's what y'all need? That's what we need, right? So has no one ever seen therapists attempt to bother me or make fun of me or attempt to make fun of me? Has no one ever seen it, heard it? No one? Would you like to hear? Would you like to see? Don't worry about it. I got you. Hold on. Where'd the sound go?
That was hilarious. Listen, therapist. Wait a minute.
So what you just witnessed, right? And it's just something small, something tiny. What you just witnessed was this woman play a video of therapists sitting in her live, watching another stream where I'm in and other people are in. And for some reason, they thought it was a damn gift battle on the panel in Bray King's live. And she was pointing at my box saying that I get no support. Can't make it up. This one, right? So that's what was transpiring. Okay. Now, here's what's even more interesting, right? Because there are so many times where they catch clips of therapists speaking on me every chance that she get. Here's another situation. Okay? 1 second. And shout out to the blog pages, because they be catching it. Okay? They be catching it. Sometimes they catch it, sometimes they don't. And it's okay when they do. When they do, they do. Let me go ahead and play this clip real quick for the people in the back of her speaking on me for no reason. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it, since we need imperial evidence.
I allowed a little girl to treat me like that, right? So I had to tap into where my own motherfucking insecurities were in order to be drawn to someone like that would harm people without them doing anything to them. Again, I never did anything to that girl other than press the live button, and she was doing this shit.
So I have a question for y'all. When a person hits the live button on you and decides to speak on y'all information, is it or is it not harmful? That's a recording, Ailey. I have a question for the people, because I know most of y'all, almost all of y'all don't like me. Y'all in here just watching, recording, trying to get y'all information. Tell me, help me understand. When a person hits the live button on you and they go and speak on your private business and information. Matter of fact, I got something better for y'all. I have a question for you. What does this statement mean to you? Okay, 1 second. I'm gonna just read something to you, and y'all tell me what it sound like. Okay. Okay. Do you understand understand that I do not want any of our information plastered. This is May of 2024, okay? This is me saying this to therapists before I even met her in person. Okay? And just to make sure that we are all on one accord, Dime was streaming therapists live when that happened. I was not in the room when they did it. These clips are being sent to me. Okay? Now, y'all tell me what this sounds like before I meet an individual, right? Before I meet a person. And you get a message like this. What does it sound like to you? Do you understand that I do not want any of our information plastered on social media? Do not subliminally talk about me, and do not expose personal information about you and I. That includes reading text messages aloud, answering questions about our personal interactions online or offline, defaming my character, or speaking negatively about me. Do not use me for content if we are no longer working out or friends. Is that cool with you? And then the person said, yeah, that's cool. When's our date? What does that sound like to y'all? What do it sound like to you? It's not enough information though, right? It ain't enough information though, right? So imagine, let me read it again. Matter of fact, let me show it to you. I gotta, hold on, because I'm gonna show you in live time the message. I need to unblock the person so that you can see their response, okay? So I'm gonna unblock them so you can see the response. You looking? Unblock. I'll put you in. What is this? Oh, 1 second. Okay. My bad. Okay. So, I just unblocked her, right? So, I'll put you in also, because she was trying to book an appointment. Understand that I do not want any of our information plastered on social media. Do not subliminally talk about me, and do not expose personal information about you and I. That includes reading text messages out loud, answering questions about our personal interactions online or offline, defaming our character, defaming my character, or speaking negatively about me. Do not use me in any content if you're no longer working out or are friends. Is that cool with you? Cool. So when is the date? Okay. What does that sound like to y'all? What does that sound like to you? Let me go re-block this bitch. Hold on. What does it sound like? What it sound like? Cause y'all be needing advice and shit, right? Y'all mean not advice. Y'all be needing information. Y'all be needing enough sound material so y'all can understand why a bitch had me fucked up. No, that's between therapist and I before I even met her. What did that sound like? Don't all talk at once.
Rozay.
Yes, ma'am.
It's psychology. I came in. I heard you were playing my audio, so I came in, and that's okay. It sounds like pushing the ethical boundary of a dual relationship. That's what it sounds like, based on the information I just saw.
And can you explain what that means?
I have to try to stay as objective as I can, and I will tell you I got DMs about it. So, when I held that live, it had nothing to do with her. So, I don't, maybe you can help me understand why she thought it did, because I don't know why. It was something I had discussed with someone earlier. I took a training on Friday about ethics and social media, so I wanted to add things that I learned in the training. And I knew I was going to take the training when I planned the live, so I'm like, ooh, I'll be able to add stuff, okay? A dual relationship is when you have a touch point with someone. I have to say that because it could be online or offline, okay? When you have a touch point with someone and you are initially presenting yourself as a therapist, but then after you have presented yourself as a therapist, your interactions goes beyond education and information. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Once your interaction goes beyond education and information, then it becomes a dual relationship.
Well, she was never gonna be my therapist, but she.
So it doesn't matter. I said if you're presenting yourself, if you're representing and presenting yourself as a therapist, and then that touch point with someone goes initially is I'm a therapist, right? Whatever that touch point is, the touch point could be your profile. That could be your profile. So if in your profile you're presenting yourself as a therapist, that's a touch point, okay? Because people come across your profile. So if that after that touch point, your interaction with someone is not educational or informational, or possibly even becoming your client, because people, therapists are on social media to market themselves to.
She said she does convert some of her supporters or followers to clients.
I know, but you were asking me about that what you showed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were asking me about what you showed. So you can, I can be on here and someone can see my videos and then contact me because I have a link to contact me. So that touch point was I'm presenting myself as a therapist, right? But then they contact me to get therapy. There was no other touch points beyond that information, education, or providing therapy. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what I saw was going beyond that, which at that point it possibly could be, and I have to say possibly because I'm not a board member. I'm just a person who understands ethics well. Okay. So it could possibly be deemed a dual relationship. And a dual relationship is when you begin to interact with someone beyond information, education, or providing therapy.
Thank you for that information. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And that's all.
Oops. Sorry.
Okay. Jurors and the citizens of the court, have we heard enough?
Child.
Hell yeah.
All right, so let's get back to it, okay? So the clips were long because Rozay, I ain't gonna hold you. She played her side, his side, and all sides. She done played this one, that one. I mean, it wasn't no need for nobody to come up at her panel because she played what Nosy said, she played what therapist said, she played what she said. At that point, it was like, okay, well, goddamn. So I ain't gonna hold you. I know it was long, but all sides was heard in one clip. If you had the patience to sit through it, all sides were heard pertaining to why this case is today. So Rozay's whole issue was that she was presenting proof in her life because she told Nosy, listen, I don't recall saying that therapist is abusive. Can you please give me the context that I said it? Nosy was like, hell no, basically. You said it. You need to prove to us how she's abusive. And Rozay was just on some type time I ain't gotta prove shit. But I find it funny how, she pulled one of them. I find it funny how when therapists be doing the little shit she be doing, you don't see nothing. That's how Rozay was presenting it. But Nosy was just I I hear you, but I don't hear you. All the theatrics and all that. Yeah, no, I'm not about to entertain you. So Rozay, she went on her live to respond to Nosy. What did Nosy say though? She's a professional yip yapper. Is that what? Did Nosy say? Let me make sure I heard that. Is that what Nosy said?
Yeah,
That
she said
Rozay is
Nosy
a
called her a professional yapper.
a professional yapper. I said yip yapper. My bad.
I didn't hear
That's what
Nosy
Rozay
talk
said.
on that tape at all.
You didn't hear Nosy at all, nigga?
No. That movie was longer than the Titanic, Bella.
All right, so
Yeah,
now
like for real, though.
I have to question y'all attention span now. Because if you ain't hear Nosy talk not one time in that clip, that tells me I understand why Nosy she'll play it and then she has to talk to y'all to make sure, hey, like I need her to start doing this when she's pausing to say, hey, you know how Netflix be like, are you still here watching? Now I see why Nosy do the clips the way she do it. Because she want to make sure that y'all niggas is actively listening and paying attention. She want to make sure, like, okay, hold on, are y'all still following me? Are y'all still following what's going on? Now I see what Nosy be fucking doing. Nosy, I ain't understand you at first, but I get it now. Because we sat here, no interruption, because that's one of the things I low-key saw in the streets. See, I've been sitting back, minding mines. But one of the things I heard y'all saying in the streets was that, oh my God, Nosy, she always fucking pausing and fucking clicking her fucking fingers together and shit. Why can't she just fucking play the audio and then look at what just happened?
I'm sorry, I speak in the fast language, so I mean, if you would have speeded up, we would definitely hear everything. But goddamn, Bella, you could have warned us.
Hell no.
That's all we saying.
But I ain't gonna hold you. Nosy got
Can
the
I say
W on
something
that
real
one.
quick? Somebody is in the comments was saying that why didn't she play my part? I know Frankie was talking to that person and they asked who she was, and she said her name is Corey. Said it was Corey.
Oh,
Where's the name at, Frankie?
Got it. Corey, a waste of time. We didn't need to play that.
Oh, okay. I thought it was something more to it.
Play who part? What?
Somebody in the comments called grown ass crybaby said you didn't play
that's
her part. That's what they said.
Yeah,
They said
Corey,
Corey.
the waste of time guy.
I didn't know that was Corey. I'm like, shit, your ass ain't even following the page and you trying to come up. Who the fuck is this? That I ain't gonna hold you. I just thought you was a troll. My bad. But nonetheless, so I ain't gonna hold you. Nosy ended up getting the W in that situation simply because y'all sat here, no interruption, until I had to make sure that y'all could hear the live because y'all said it was glitching. The sound was glitching, right?
It was.
But y'all be the same ones complaining like, oh my God, Nosy, just let it play through. And look at what happened. So I am truly convinced that Nosy has to do it that way. Y'all attention span do not allow for y'all to just sit and actively listen.
Whoa. Frankie was the only one that said that.
Nah, nigga. Did you not see the comment
all
section?
Of us?
Did you not see the comment section?
I thought you were talking about on the panel.
As soon as the clip was done, y'all said, oh, fine. Niggas was over here standing ovations.
But Bella, the only reason why I said that is because I only heard the psychology doctor talking. When Rozay played the clip of the clip, that was the psychology doctor. She said what Nosy said. She never play what Nosy said.
Thank you, because I didn't hear Nosy either, but I ain't want to say nothing.
Maybe I'm tripping. I could have
Yeah, she didn't play what Nosy said. She only said what Nosy said.
Thank you.
The moral of the story is that Nosy said that Rozay needs to produce evidence that therapist is abusive. And if she can't, then she needs to watch her words because that's dangerous to say about someone, especially in that profession. All right? All right. And while doing so, Rozay decided to allegedly call out Nosy, felt like she was biased against her, felt like Nosy intentionally does not highlight the things that therapist has done to her as far as allegedly stalking her around the app and antagonizing her. So yeah, That's what was discussed in the clip.
How, just like respectfully, how long was their like relationship for? Like, was it like longer than like 4 months? Because for you to make that accusation, like you have to be in a relationship. Like, is it really like a long period of, like they've been together, or is it like short term?
So from my understanding, Rozay said they were not ever in a relationship, that she was trolling people. They were never dating. They were only friends. That's what is being alleged.
So if they're vetting, how would you know that she's like that? Because if you don't have the evidence, is it like hearsay? Because like to me, I feel like if I'm talking to somebody, right? We got months in. Like for me to say that you're abusive or whatever, I gotta be talking to you for some time.
Jurors, I guess that is a question that is being posed for y'all. So because Rozay and Nosy is not in the courts, the jurors will deliberate. I was only giving y'all the case and giving y'all understanding as to what the case is about. But I have no input on it at all. I do not have any questions to pose because the people in question is not here. However, jurors, you may pose questions amongst each other.
Towns elder, sir. I'm gonna just say this.
Need somebody to be a stalker.
I believe this is what I believe. I believe that they had a relationship. I think that it was deeper than what any of us know.
Yeah.
And I think that Rozay is putting on as if there's no feelings involved, that she doesn't really care for therapists like that. But the truth of the matter is, this is a toxic relationship, and one person want people to take their side, the other person wants you to take their side, and that's exactly what it is. But Rozay is not going to come out and say, yes, I had feelings for therapists. She tries to act like, oh, this girl, it wasn't nothing like that. Like, she thought this was a relationship. She thought we were dating. Listen, come on now. People with eyes can see. They had something going on, period. It was deeper than that. And all their drama has been dropped on TikTok.
For real. I wish we was never a part of this breakup.
I was gonna say, like, as far as the proof, the only proof that we really got was when she showed the text message with her reaching out to therapists saying, don't share my information or whatever. So we can't really call that abusive. But if she did agree to say, I'm not going to share the information, whether we, work out or not, and she did, then she did violate their agreement. But as far as the abuse, I agree with what Ms. Ray Ray was saying, that I think there's more to it. And I think her exposing the abuse would be exposing her behavior as well, which she's not trying to do. So I think she can make the claim that she's abusive, but she's not going to put the information out there because that would be, damning for herself. So I do think there's more to the story for sure. And I think
so it looks like we have an eyewitness that wants to come up. So Corey is saying that he was an eyewitness. So Corey, I'm going to have you come up and explain what you witnessed pertaining to Nosy and Rozay.
Okay. How everybody doing? This is the situation. The original live was only pointing out the antagonistic behavior of the therapist, going to different lives, trolling Trina, going to different lives, trolling Rozay. That's all the initial live and T live was originally about. That live, Rozay came up. She explained some of the behaviors and what she sees from therapists. It was no attack on her license or none of that. Later on that night, Nosy did a recap, just like Rozay basically said, and she was like, we need empirical evidence. So Nosy is going from a logistic, like a legal standpoint. You have to show me physical evidence. You just can't get up here and say what somebody do to you and I'm going to take it and run with it. That's the thing that's crossed the line right there, because what you do on TikTok, if it's not to the point where you can go and file charges against somebody, it's just irrelevant. You just basically speaking on your experiences. But Nosy wanted something because she felt like Rozay was speaking on therapist's career. And that's where it went across the lines, because that wasn't Rozay's initial intentions. Then the following day, we were back in T Live. Nosy got up on the panel requesting apology from Trina, and I was like, hold up, you need to clear up what you were saying, because you was like, what y'all holding alive about therapists for, and speaking on therapists in her career. And that's when I was like, hold on, you need to clear that up first. You coming up here demanding an apology, but you holding the whole recap live, and you insinuating what somebody is speaking on without even understanding what they speaking on. Because if you wasn't there firsthand, what you get from some of these bloggers are clipped up and cut up. And everybody follows what Nosy says. If Nosy come on here and say, oh, this creator, that creator is this and that, you have a bunch of people that run and want to find out what the hell is going on. And a lot of people is just followers on here, for real. Y'all are really, really on that group thinking shit. And y'all following a lot of shit that Nosy say, and y'all believe it. So yes, Rozay came up in the panel, and she basically expressed the same thing, whatever. And I said she did show evidence, but I stated it wrong. I said no therapist paid Trina, but it wasn't a pay. She paid for her to stay on the panel and have a conversation one day with Rozay. So Rozay repeated the way that it was abuse, that she paid for a conversation to happen that Trina did not want to happen. So that was a sign of abuse coming from Rozay, that pointed out therapist abuse of power right there. She think because she has money, she can abuse you. She run around here, Trina's birthday, she antagonized her. Trina was drunk and everything like that. Trina say she cussed out and all that. I didn't hear that part, but that's just an abuse of power, because you running around here with your money, gifting people, pointing at people when they ain't getting gifts and stuff like that. That's antagonistic and abuse right there. I don't care how other people look at it. It's just what it is to me.
Hold on. Did therapists say that's what she's doing? Cause I mean, I didn't see therapists gift a lot of people. So is that something she's doing? I'm confused.
Well, somebody said the morning of Trina live, the morning of Trina, like the week of Trina's birthday, the weekend or so, somebody said they seen therapists personally. They came on T Live, that first live that was had, they came on that live and say, therapists say, it's somebody's birthday this weekend, I'm gonna go in every live they in. Now that was said by a person on this app, and they got in T panel and said that from the beginning of the live, when T was holding the live. I wasn't even in the panel at that moment in time. And they got up there and said, therapist say she gonna go from live to live, that this some person birthday is in. So every live, because y'all know Trina been on the world tour, she going every live, and she was like, it's my birthday or whatever. And that person was in the comments and everything. So that was part of her antics and her tactics.
Wait, so her moving around and going to different people's lives, or pay, and I had a question about this too. So if she paid for someone to stay in a conversation, but that person didn't want to be in the conversation, couldn't they have just left the live or whatever? How, I'm trying to figure out how that's abuse.
Because she was paid to be dropped. And she was like, nah, you need to stay up here. And Rozay could explain it better, but Rozay not here. She was like, you need to be up there and you need to have that conversation. And Trina did not want to have that conversation, but she paid
did
anyway. Yes.
But she could have closed. She could have clicked the X button though, right?
Hey, that's between them. I don't know their relationship like that.
Right. So I'm just trying to figure out like where the abuse is coming from.
All right, if I'm your friend and you want to walk away from a situation and I'm like, hey, look, nah, you need to handle this situation, and I'm doing it where you have to handle it or whatever. It's just like I invested something for you to do it, even though you don't want to do it. Like, why am I forcing you to do something you don't want to do at that moment in time?
But
Bro, I'm
she,
gonna be
the thing is,
honest.
even though she paid for her to stay up there, she still had the ability to click the X button. So even if she wanted her to do it, she still didn't have to. But she still made that decision and chose to do it. So that's not really abuse.
Well, I don't know what the ending situation was. I don't know if she stayed up there. I don't know if she ran. I don't know, whatever the case may be. But for you to insinuate like, nah, you need to do it, it's forcing somebody to do something against their will. Especially if you spending money. Like, I spent money to do this. You need to do it.
I mean, I'd say
Like,
maybe
come on,
pressuring.
man.
I think abuse is a big word to
pressure.
throw,
Yeah.
especially for a therapist. And I think, I don't know therapists, but I want to say, if you are someone who is in that realm of a job, you shouldn't really be having these types of interactions with people on social media anyway, because it could jeopardize your career, especially if you're, you know, on these lives that have a lot of people. So I'm confused about why she's even involved in these things.
But I mean, but to be honest with you though, I mean, I don't think her licensing has anything to do with what if she's in a relationship or if they had like some type of friendship or whatever. To me, like,
No,
you know,
it shouldn't.
Unfortunately, it was brought to the internet. But I don't think that we should, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like therapists should be condemned and be like, oh, okay, you can't have little spats or whatever like that. And abuse is kind of a reach, Corey. Like that's kind of a reach right there. I don't care. I wouldn't care if Bella paid $2,000 for me to stay in the box. If I didn't want to have a conversation, I just wouldn't have it. I would drop out the box, period.
Right. And I'm confused. I'm just saying, as far as therapists, I wasn't saying that because some people are saying, why are we questioning her career? I'm saying if what she's doing on social media, because that psychologist came up and was like, you know, from this lesson or whatever, if you're presenting as a therapist, you can't do this, that, and the third. So I don't know what the rules are as far as, you know, TikTok or being a therapist online, but she was making it seem as though if you come online and say you're a therapist, the way that you behave or the things that you do when you interact with people are supposed to be different. So that's what I was questioning, because her career clearly.
But what are it's other situations that she has done? What about her showing her private text message between her and Trina to Rozay? Like, it's things that this lady has done behind the scenes, in the scenes, and everything. Like, it's not
That's
just
her
cut and
being
dry.
messy. That's just her being messy. Yeah, that's just her being messy though. But I mean, but she's not Trina's therapist. She's not Rozay's therapist. So there is no like confidentiality type of thing going on.
Okay.
But if you
what I'm saying is there no accountability for the people that actually are encountering these people? Like, because I feel like we're missing that accountability. Like Rozay, like Trina, they knew this person over a period of time. So we can't neglect their, you know, accountability for knowing, hey, like Rozay was going through with therapists prior to this, when they first got going through what they were going through. She didn't mention no domestic violence or any of that, no, you know, abuse. She didn't mention that. Now when she mentioned it, it's like, oh, this is the new topic. I feel like if you date somebody or you with somebody, vetting, whatever, you know them, you know that person. So if you choose to date that person or still go through that, knowing that that person is, you know, having those, you know, issues, it's like, yo, how can we sit there and say, you know what, damn, we got to, you know, just be a blind eye to that. Like, you have to be able to have the accountability for that too, because I feel like there's no accountability when it comes to the person who's actually dating that person, you know?
This is the thing. Therapists claim she's not bothering these two women. Even the day we initially was in T Live, the first day, they caught her screaming T Live. And then she flipped right to the next live after they logged on to her live and playing the same thing we talking about. Like, that's just wild. You say you don't do it. Instead of coming to the panel and addressing it, sitting there face to face, she didn't want to do it. She don't want to take no accountability for her actions and what she's doing in the whole situation.
But Corey,
And
let me
it
ask you
is
a
what it
question.
is.
Do you think maybe therapist does that because she's afraid of Rozay? Have y'all ever seen Rozay and therapist go at it on the panel? Do you notice how Rozay completely takes over the argument and therapist kind of
I agree.
shrinks? She backs down a little bit. Do y'all see
Listen,
that?
I agree, and that's what Trina was having a problem with when they was going at it, because Trina felt like Rozay was saying what she wanted to say to therapists. Now y'all got to remember, these two people on the end of the spectrum, two people that don't agree, Trina and Rozay. Now the middle ground is therapists, but when it comes to certain things that therapists do, they agree about. That something ain't right there. They agree how she acts and how she moves. Something ain't right there. Now y'all see Trina and Rozay getting along right now. I know therapists can't handle what Rozay had to say out of her mouth.
Bro, and I feel that, Corey. I feel that. I feel like when a person is on panels, you should be able to attack that any way through. It should be, if you on panels, other lives, it should be no issue when somebody call you to the front. Like, I feel the therapist on that. Like, to me, I feel like she should have confronted it. But when you on other panels,
she did it, but she did it with Trina though. That's the thing. She did it when it came to Trina.
Exactly.
She addressed Trina when it was an issue. She spoke up, but she did not speak up when it came to Rozay, and that's the problem Trina had with it. But like I'm saying, you got two people that was on the end of the spectrum, and they both agreeing what she doing right now. They just said, okay, well, you're not gonna fuck with us genuinely, leave us alone, and that's not what's happening.
So is that guilt?
Like everybody,
guilt?
every party is playing a role here. It sounds kind of like everybody's kind of guilty of their own behaviors and things that they've done, whether on their lives or through text messages. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. Exactly. That's exactly what it
got
is.
their own space too, though. Everybody got their own space. Maybe she wasn't comfortable in that space. Maybe her space was a different live. So we got to, take that also. Like, maybe the therapist felt more comfortable in a smaller space. Like, I mean, like, just being fair.
But does that excuse the behavior?
Right.
Nah, hell nah. I don't believe that. But I feel
And
like
she has her own practice, right? I feel like if you have your own practice, you need to watch how you move on TikTok.
Right.
Like, I don't know, like, or maybe lie about your profession. Don't tell people you're a therapist and move how you move. Like, she should have said she was a cashier or something, because being a therapist and having your own practice and doing the things you're doing is
like
weird.
appeals court where they can appeal these judgments.
I'm gonna be honest. This just seems like a messy breakup, and I just really don't understand what Nosy had to do with this. To be like, maybe
she wanted
Rozay just mad she gave her opinion.
No, she wanted physical evidence. She wanted Rozay to present something at the moment in time that we were just speaking on what therapist is doing. She was
because
like,
she made that claim that she was abusive, which is a big claim. If you're going to say someone's abusive, you do need to be able to, have some type of explanation, even if not proof, because some things you can't prove. You can't, if somebody did something abusive to you, you're not necessarily going to be able to say, here's a paper of how she abused me or whatever. But you do need to be able to say what it is that the person did if you're going to claim they're abusive. So I get that. I definitely get that. I think if something did happen and Rozay was abused, I do wish that she would have been able to express what actually happened. But like I said, I think that was something that she probably didn't want to be public knowledge.
Rozay is just using problematic words. Okay, can we stop? There's nothing about Rozay that screams she's abused. All right, she doesn't even have that type of personality to say, "Oh, I've been abused." That's not even her. What it is two ex-lovers. It's two ex-lovers coming at each other. We're not going to do that. We're not going to make her the victim and act like therapist is this big bad wolf. They both do things to each other. Now, maybe therapist is doing it more than I understand. And that's what I'm not saying, that therapist is innocent, but I'm saying Rozay is not innocent either. Neither one is innocent. They both do things to each other, Corey. That's what I'm saying.
But Nosy is upset because there was no
please. So I just
proof.
wanted to get a word in real quick. If we can just get a quick power tap, again, we are bringing back accountability court. So yes, we will be covering the mess on Messy TikTok. Okay, so we can just do a quick pause, get the taps up. We almost had 600,000 taps. I Appreciate everyone that is here tapping the screen. If you are not already following the Bella Leone show, I am literally here every Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Excuse me. Thank you for the shares, the comments, taps, gifts. It's all appreciated. If you subscribe, thank you for subscribing. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these. Y'all may continue to deliberate.
People that has a tough exterior or interior, like they can't be bullied. They can't. Nobody can say something to disrespect them or hurt them. Like that's just wild.
I'm
A
not saying that,
wild
Tori.
thought
I'm not
process.
saying that tough people can't be abused. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is from what I observed in several different lives, they both come at each other. That is my point. It is both of them coming at each other.
And I do agree. I saw somebody in the comments say that the reason why Nosy's mad is because Rosie said that therapist was abusive but couldn't prove it. And like I said before, to make a claim like that, to use a word like that, it can be very detrimental to someone's life, not even just their career, but if somebody is claimed to be abusive, it's like, are we talking physical abuse? Somebody in the comments was saying, is it financial abuse? Because that was mentioned earlier. So it's like, if you're going to say someone's abusive, what did they do to abuse you?
So, and I agree with you because it's not necessarily about abuse. You're talking about Rozay using two different words in the wrong context. She's used imperial when clearly it's supposed to be empirical. She's using abusive when it should be trolling. So yes, therapist is trolling her. Therapist is using abusive behavior towards her, but not necessarily abusive. And so she's using it and taking it out of context and then wanting and when Nosy calls her on the carpet and say, well, you can't just be throwing out accusations without evidence. Where's your evidence? So then Rozay gets on her sermon and on her podium. And then that's when she wants to throw out all of these, accusations without any claim.
And even to say abusive
I don't think
behavior.
Rozay was saying that the abuse was to her. I'm just saying, as she was saying it, like how therapist has done it. And y'all know, as a therapist, if you sit down and talk to somebody in that career field, just like you got professor lit or whatever, if you was an actual professor, you gonna act like a professor no matter what. And that's what I think a lot of people are missing in the whole situation. Therapists move like a therapist. Don't take that.
But that's not true.
I think so.
True, bro.
What do you mean by she moves like a therapist?
People. Like you can't just say, okay, you run into people every day. You talk to people every day. You're a truck driver. So what if one of them was a therapist? Are you going to be like, oh man, you're not talking to me in your therapy talk? Like, that's not true. She's a regular person.
She's a regular person. Think about it. We're all on the messy side of TikTok. No matter what our professions are, we're still on the messy side of TikTok. And guess what? B-Bit on the panel, yeah, I might be being messy, even though I am a professor. But this is the thing, is that she's still human. So yeah, a therapist is trolling her. Therapist is being messy. But that doesn't mean that she's got to behave as a therapist 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So yeah, she is being messy. She is being messy, but Rozay being not showing the proper context of things, or not saying the proper context and taking it out of proportion. Nosy just called her on the carpet and said, well, you got to show receipts or evidence if you're going to throw out these words. And Rozay got in her feelings about it.
She's speaking from her personal experience from what she sees. Them two people have been around each other. We done heard them people on live together. So how can y'all discredit what she sees sitting back watching somebody interact on social media? And
that's why I was saying it has to be based on how long they've been together, bro. Because you can't. That's like me dating somebody and being like, oh, they're over aggressive and all they're doing is checking up on me. Like, when it comes to TikTok and social media, there has to be some type of a credibility there. I think people just say, oh, this person's abusive. Like, show us. Was she over calling you? Did she say, hey, I'm a live you? Like, there has to be some type of credibility there. Like,
and we need the context too. Was she referring to this abusive behavior as far as in person or through social media? Because
what's
abusive
more
behavior
crazy
is still abuse. Because some people are trying to separate the two, but abusive behavior is going to be what you're doing to abuse the person. So even if it's on social media, trolling and things like that, I could see maybe like internet bullying or something like that. But as far as abusive behavior, we definitely need to know the context of it. Are you saying she's has abusive behavior in real life, or does she have it on social media? Like what was she trying to say?
And the wild thing is, she in her whole in that whole little video, she said, "Yo, play me validation of this." She didn't even produce validation. She said, "Rosie, produce me this." She didn't even produce it. So it's like you want her to produce something that you didn't even produce. That's that's crazy. That's crazy.
Okay, but this is where Nosy's influence comes in. Because Nosy has influence and she wasn't on Rozay's side, I feel like Rozay was offended by that. Because so many people listen to Nosy, now she's thinking like, okay, people are going to question me. They're going to question if what I'm saying is real. And that's what's happening.
I definitely want more information. I just want to know, and like I said, I don't know the context of their relationship, but as far as saying that someone's abusive or has abusive behavior, I definitely want to know what she means by that, even if she can't, produce the evidence. Because like I said, some physical or some type of abuse, you cannot actually prove that, you know what I'm saying? So I just need clarity on that before I can say someone is abusive or someone is not abusive, if that makes sense.
And I'm gonna be real, both of these women are highly vocal. Rozay's highly vocal. Therapist is highly vocal. She's vocal. So to proceed your claim, why would you not produce that evidence? If you're highly vocal, the only thing you could do to show your credibility is to produce that, to be there. So why would you not want to produce like, hey, you know what, I'm following my claim? Because if therapist's not gonna talk about it, you putting that out there, she gonna have to speak to truth.
June said Rozay made a live about it. So what did Rozay say? Like what was her claim?
She said a live about being abused, you're saying?
I don't know. I'm confused with what he's saying or what she's saying.
I'm gonna say this, right, and I'm gonna drop. It goes to a level of what I'm seeing. Mental abuse and trolling and antagonizing. We see trolls get up under people's skin. We have seen that in life, and people have unalived themselves for that. So just to antagonize somebody over and over again after y'all ain't friends no more or in a relationship, like it can play on a person mental. Uncle Sneaky Link say he see Rozay speaking on her, but I don't know what set Rozay off into that manner to speak on her, so I can't even say. I don't know. She's saying she want to be left alone. That's all it is. At the end of the day, she want to be left alone. But the case is about Rozay and Nosy. Nosy say she wanted physical evidence, like she wanted to see what she was talking about abuse. Rozay made a live, and I guess she gave what she thought was abuse. If people don't agree with that's abuse, then y'all make y'all decision in the way you make it. I mean, I don't think Rozay gonna be heard about it or Nosy, but it is what it is. They both have their own opinion of what is abuse to them, and can't nobody tell you what is abuse to you. It is what it is.
No, like what I see, like I said again, is that everybody's done their messy behavior and people just aren't satisfied with not having certain information and people don't want to share certain information. So as far as who's wrong and who's right, everybody's wrong, so it's kind of like, what is the goal? What is the end goal?
Right. And I don't think Nosy was wrong for asking for proof. I don't. You can't throw out
I would want to know too.
Words like that and then expect people to just sit back and say, oh yeah, that's what it is. No. If you're going to throw out those words, you definitely need to show proof. So I don't think Nosy was wrong for asking.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. I don't know how she did it though. Was that the issue? Was the issue how she asked her?
Yeah, it could have been. But again, I just think because of who Nosy is, this is why Rozay got so offended. If it was anybody else, or if it was somebody smaller, or somebody who's not on Nosy's level, I guarantee Rozay wouldn't have cared. She wouldn't have cared. She cared because it was Nosy. And that's why I want Nosy to realize that her influence is stronger and bigger than she thinks it is.